He's an entertainer, an artist, the star of a one-man show.
The stage is always his.
He calls himself a lion. Sometimes he calls himself the GOAT. Well, now the biggest ego in world sport meets, well, a similarly proportioned ego. On centre stage, it's Zlatan Ibrahimović, uncensored. Zlatan, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I can't think of anybody better suited to do an interview for a show called Piers Morgan Uncensored than you.
I think I'm the perfect guy for you.
Do you feel like you've always been uncensored?
I feel, I've been myself always, even if people think I try to act or something, but I think I see and I say, so wrong and right, I'm being myself. I think it's very important.
Will I get to the real you in this interview?
100%. You put the level.
You've just retired.
Yes.
Something I don't think you probably thought would ever happen. You worried about it happening. You were concerned about it happening. What's the reality been like?
I just retired 3 months ago, and I agree with you that if I wanted it or not is different, but I accepted it because in the end I was not feeling good. I could have continued suffering in physical way and keep going, but I wanted to feel good and I didn't want to have a consequence after my career where I'm limping or I cannot do things with my boys. So I choose to stop, and I think I stopped in the right moment. But to be honest with you, when I see all the other strikers out there, I could still play because I would do much more than them and better than them. And that's not for my ego, that's facts.
You want to name some names?
I could give you many names, probably 95% of them out there. So
You think you're better than 95% even now?
I am better, I don't think.
I'd take you at Arsenal. I would take you at Arsenal.
Okay, could be. I had a chance to go there.
I
but
know you did. We're going to come to that. It breaks my heart. I can't even think about it. We're at the Shaftesbury Theatre, one of London's great theatres here. You're used to being on the big stage. This is one of the big stages of theatre. It's an empty crowd. There's no one here.
Yeah, just
a few
you,
people.
You should have brought me the crowd. Because
Well, I wanted to see how you felt.
I would make them bounce.
But you would.
100%.
How are you going to deal with not having the big crowds? Being on the big stage with a big crowd and now this?
I think I don't need that. I've been doing it for 20 years, 25 years. I played in front of 90,000. And I made them bounce, I made them cheer, I made them whistle, I made them hate, I made them love. So all these things, and I don't have that ego that I need attention now because I am who I am. I'm remembered for what I did on the field, so I'm not looking for attention. I'm not looking for get recognized and all those things because. Or else I would choose to be a commentator. I would do those things that you have these ex-players doing because they're doing it because they still miss the attention. They want to be seen in front of the camera, and I understand them because when you're on the field, you feel alive. And when you go there, you get this adrenaline. You feel the grass, you feel the duels, you feel the heat, you feel the atmosphere, and then depending on what kind of player you are, I'm a very emotional player when I'm on the field, so I switch from one thing to another thing. But now is a different thing. Now I will live let's say a normal life, and hopefully a normal life. And
what do you want to do? Have you worked it out yet?
I'm doing more. I mean, now 3 months has gone, so I'm doing more things now than I did when I was active. So I have my collaborations, I do different things and different projects. I'm a little bit curious about the acting thing because I've been trying some things in front of the camera. I mean, I'm not shy. If I'm a good actor, I don't know, I don't think.
I could see you playing a James Bond villain.
Villain, yeah.
Yes.
I would smash James Bond, but he could win in the end. I'm okay with that. But during the movie, I would smash him,
Yes.
and then probably I would lay somewhere 2 meters under the ground, which is okay.
Because when you smile, you light up the room. You're very charming. You seem a very nice guy. When you don't smile, yes,
I look sharp.
You have a very severe face, which I've seen on many a football field. You could be a good villain, I think.
I think also, because and for my English also, I sound like a, I don't know, criminal Russian type. So could be. But I'm interested. I'm curious. I like to see how it works, and why not? I mean, just to try some different things.
At your last game, AC Milan supporters obviously going crazy for you. You made a very emotional, heartfelt address. It was very moving, actually. And at one stage, it was interrupted by the Verona fans booing you. And you stopped. You stopped talking to your fans. And you addressed the Verona fans and you said, keep booing. This is the biggest moment in your year, seeing me.
Yes.
I love that. Very
I mean, that was me being me, exactly.
Yeah.
That was me being me. And like I said, you whistle, you cheer, but for them was the moment of the year, because seeing me is not for everybody. So that's the way they enjoyed it. Because remember, if they whistle you or talk bad about you, it's because you're number one.
Did you play better when you were in front of home supporters cheering you, or when you were away somewhere like Inter Milan where they wanted to kill you?
I mean, when you play on the highest level, you need to fight trigger points, because obviously after a while you get used to one thing, and then when you're used to one thing, you don't get triggered the same way. Obviously, you're a professional guy, you go out, you do your job. But for me, it was about getting triggered. I needed to get adrenaline, and playing home could be the fans, could be the opponent. I needed to find trigger points where I trigger myself, and I became more active. But I have to admit that away games, I feel alive. I feel very alive. Where the night, let's say away against Inter, which is still my home because it's my stadium still, and 90,000 whistling you, I feel alive. Because
I feel with you, Zlatan, that your whole life has been a fight.
Yes.
And that's the way you've actually liked it.
Yes.
You were brought up in an environment like that. You played football in that environment. You were at your best when you were in a scrap. And it was interesting going over your life and reviewing it. You actually said you viewed football as you viewed life. It's a fight, you said. And of course, you're a Taekwondo black belt as well. So you do actually know how to properly fight. I need to be angry to play well, you said. I need to shout and make some noise. And then your co-writer on your autobiography, David, he said, complex is the best way to describe Zlatan. On the one hand, he's a strong warrior type who knew he had to be very tough to survive. So he takes on fights all the time because he's always had to. But another part of him is vulnerable. He's a guy wounded by his upbringing.